opinions expressed by callers, guests, and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of the Black Talk Radio Network and Black Talk Media Project. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium.
Dinar would have had serious consequences for the world financial system, but may also have empowered the people of Africa, something black activists say the US wants to avoid at all costs.
We're slicing cake. We're slicing cake. We're slicing cake.
Say the US wants to avoid at all costs.
We're slicing cake.
Say the US wants to avoid at all costs.
We're slicing.
Gaddafi didn't give up. In the months leading up to the military intervention, he called on African and Muslim nations to join together to create this new currency that would rival the dollar and euro. They would sell oil and other resources around the world only for gold dinars. It's an idea that would shift the economic balance of the world. Countries' wealth would depend on how much gold they have, not how many dollars they trade. And Libya has 144 tons of gold.
Welcome everyone to Thando Radio Show, brought to you by Black Talk Radio Network. I'm your host, Dave from LA, coming to you live from FEMA Region number 6. Just want to thank you all for tuning in to Thando Radio Show. Today is a Monday, May the 30th, 2017. It's a Monday. It's a Tuesday. Sorry about that. It's a Tuesday, May the 30th, 2017. And we have a live show for you today. Hopefully you all had a great weekend. And I just want to say we truly, truly appreciate you listening to Thando Radio Show here today. So we have a live show for you for today. But before we get into that, let's take a look at, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Everyone, let's continue to support Black Talk Radio Network by going to www.blacktalkradionetwork.com and checking out that web page, that website, and then notice, please, if you can, on the far right-hand margin, the prompt to give donations. That is how you can support Black Talk Radio Network and keep it on air. You know, we appreciate all donations, all sizes, small or large, whatever it is that you can give. Greatly, greatly appreciate them. And this is what's necessary to keep this network going, because it is a network that was put together by an everyday person for the everyday people. And there are other organizations that were put together by the corporations for the corporations. And this is where we give so much of our attention, because they have full funding. And I think there's sometimes that we need to be able to read through something that has an alternative motive or ulterior motive, or a motive that may not resonate truly with us, and one that does, and not look at it because of its overall exposure, its how convenient, or if it's free, and see, these are the things that's very, very important about us understanding and resonating with things that directly benefit us, because the things that were created by individuals for the individuals is probably the most holistic thing for you as individuals. And the things that were created for the corporations by the corporations definitely benefit them. And we should not mistake that the corporations have the overall effect because of the energy and because of the support that it garnishes and it's able to gather. That same support needs to be gathered and garnished for the individual effort as well. So this is where it is a great opportunity for you to be a sponsor of this network in order for it to do what it's supposed to do. Very, very important. So check out that. Also, you can support Black Talk Radio Network by also being a part of its social media network. Its social media network known as BTR Community. And you can find that by going to the same website, and there on the front page you'll also see the the icon that is a black background with a capital white B that's there, and that's for BTR Community. Or you can go to www.btrcommunity.com and check out it there. But what is BTR Community? BTR Community is a social media network that was created by Black Talk Radio Network for its audience, so that you can engage in the social media activities, so that you can engage in your social media activities without being adversely affected. Very, very, very important in my eyes, because especially for what's going on and how that platform and those platforms will be used against you in the future. Very, very important in my opinion. So come on over to BTR Community, where you could actually engage in your social media activities without being adversely affected. What I mean by that is that many of us don't realize that just because they don't charge, see, sometimes just because someone doesn't charge you something doesn't mean that what they're producing is going to be beneficial for you. Okay? And that could ultimately mean, and that's, you know, if you really want to think about it, is the best way to hide certain things is to give the perception that something is one thing other than what it is. Very, very effective tactic that happens is a cloaking device, or a way to disguise true intention. So that is, in my opinion, is very, very, very important that we know those things and that we don't resonate in that type of destructive energy. So come on over to BTR Community. It's only $24 a year, $24 a year to be a member. And then once you're there, you can post stuff of things that you think are relevant and important, post things that you would normally post other places, as long as they are, of course, they're appropriate. And you can promote yourself, your business, events that you think need more public exposure, things of that nature. Very, very important. So come on over to BTR Community and be a part of that community, because I think it's going to be very important in the future for us to be able to get through and to coincide in a more effective way. So you could do that by going to www.btrcommunity and joining. Also, if you would like to acquire precious metals, real money, you can do that by going to www.prosperitymint.com. That's prosperitymint.com, just as it sounds, it is spelled. PROSPERITY, Prosperity, Mint, no space, MINT.com. And there is a full-service precious metals company. Will give you coins, bullions, rounds, you know, all forms of the precious metals. It actually has all 5 of the investment grades of precious metals that are sold. So you can definitely acquire it there. And that is real money. Very, very important, and is important for so many reasons in today's world. Not only from a prepper standpoint, but from just a trying to survive in this system standpoint. The overall precious metals have intrinsic value that most people sleep on because they don't know, because they haven't been properly made aware. And some people think they know, and they really, really don't know in the importance of the precious metals, because if many did know, there would be a different response, particularly our community. You know, our community used to resonate with that, but we walked away from that. And that has a direct effect on our overall standings mentally, physically, and spiritually now. Mentally, physically, and spiritually now, because of our overall walking away, allowing ourselves to be tricked and duped and deceived out of thinking one thing was another, thinking that cash was money, when actually the most perfect form of money, one of the most perfect forms of money that we have, because it meets all of the attributes of real money, is the precious metals. And we walked away, and one of the reasons why the prosperity has been lost, that needs to be redeemed. So go over to Prosperity Mint and save as a king or queen, or as a lady and a gentleman, and you don't have to save as a slave, because the system pays you as one. So walk away from that and resonate in your own prosperity. So check that out, Prosperity Mint. Also, now, so let's jump into, well, before we get going, on July the 1st, 2017, we're going to have a Control Your Wealth seminar here in Dallas, the city of Dallas, and it's going to be held at the Dallas Public Library, and it's in the downtown area of Dallas, July the 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time at the Central Library of Dallas Public Library, and that is going to be at 1515 Young Street in Dallas, Texas. And that is going to be a great afternoon of workshops and information that you're going to be able to use to start to control your wealth. And it's going to be put on and hosted by Prosperity Mint. And the schedule is going to be the first hour. Prosperity Mint will actually give presentations, and there will be a 1 hour presentation by Legacy Wealth Management, and that's going to be for 1 hour. And then then there's going to be the Precious Metals class will be given, 1 hour of the Precious Metals class, and then the last hour will be looking at future opportunities in debriefing from the day, and also looking at collective prudence opportunities and opportunities that are right here under our noses that could bring about some, in my opinion, could actually bring about a more holistic way to opportunities that you can garnish and put into your overall holdings for yourself and your family going forward. Very, very important. A lot of things that are that will be discussed there. So come on down to Dallas. And the cost for a single ticket is $300. Cost for couples is $550. So check out right there on Eventbrite, and all you have to do is go to Controlling Your Wealth Seminar by Prosperity Mint, July the 1st. Check out all the information is there right at the Prosperity Mint. At the Eventbrite platform. So just go to Eventbrite, and all the information is there that's going to be happening. And there will also be where you can also, we are putting together where you'll be able to engage in it from we are going to do it digitally, just going to be figuring out how we're going to do it, probably from a live webinar or something that you will be able to engage in it then if you're not able to make it to Dallas. Very, very important. Great opportunity. A lot of great information will be given. I know because of what we've been doing for so long, this is something that I will be hosting, and the guests that will be there, there's a couple of guests that will be there, a couple of opportunities that I think are going to be extremely, extremely relevant in how we play this going forward in the future. And this is going to be something that you're going to be able to use for yourself, for your family, and for the overall community. So check that out. Looking forward to that on July the 1st. Okay, next, let's jump into what's in the news. Let me just get everything. Hopefully I didn't kill the page by mistake. I may have. No, I didn't. All right. Now, first article that we're going to get to, there's another one that we're going to come back to this one. Article that we posted, a lot of great information. Big ups to my man, Raj. Thanks for posting a lot of great stuff there. And before we get into the news, at any time, if you'd like to jump in on the conversation, give us a call, 866-510-9025, 866-510-9025. Then hit ***, and we will see you in queue. I'm on the board, and we will definitely bring you up and take it from there so you can have your question or comment read. So very, very important. 1 second. All right, so let's check out what's in the news. A lot of great articles here. Last article that was posted. I posted this one. This comes from worldbeyondwar.org. Russia calls House bill act of war. Will the Senate block H.R. 1644? And so we're going to take a look at that because of some of the things that's going on in the world in a minute. So check out that article. Next one. I usually don't post much stuff about this directly, but we're going to play this YouTube video really quickly about a senator in Brazil on the Brazilian Senate floor made mentions to that the earth was in peril danger. This was a senator, just like the U.S. has senator this or that in D.C., in Congress. But this individual brought it to the Brazilian floor, and a senator, and his name is, Tamario Mota. Tamario Mota is a Brazilian senator for the country of Brazil. Just like you have 100 senators here in the United States, he's one of the senators, or the counterparty would be a U.S. senator here from the United States for one of the 100 senators. He brought it to Brazil's floor, and what he said is that he made an announcement about Planet X having a drastic effect on the Earth, and that effect could come to a climax in October of 2017. So we're going to take a look at that, what he said, so you can see for yourself. But I posted it there, and then you'll be able to find it on YouTube. You can hear it in, actually gave it in Portuguese, but I didn't have one that will translate it. So, but I have found one so we can listen to that. Okay? So next article, my man Raj posted this one from NBC News. The U.S. has begun sending weapons to the Kurds and Syrian domesticated forces. So check out that article. And this is something that we've known for a while. Next article, Raj posted this from Boing Boing. China's laws requiring internet companies to spy on users come into effect this week. Well, it won't just be China, everyone. I think that's something that's been going on for a while. Great article that's going to happen. Another great article, good article here, Raj. Good one. This one is from Reuters. Goldman confirms buying Venezuela bonds after opposition cries foul. In Caracas, Goldman Sachs Group Incorporated has confirmed it brought Venezuelan bonds after being exonerated by the country's opposition for financing the embattled government of Maduro, who is facing sustained protests. Check out that article. Next article from Raj posted this from Cerebrally Naive Money. Venezuela outrage at Goldman Sachs. Same thing in a different way. Goldman Sachs confirmed Tuesday morning today after Wall Street Journal reported it first. Goldman stands to make a nice profit from the purchases. It allegedly paid just 30 cents on the dollar, or $865 million for bonds that were originally worth $2.2 billion. This is why the collapse here will definitely happen, because people are actually going to benefit from that collapse. And this is why the common man's economy continues to collapse. This is why you should not have any faith in that type of situation. You need to leverage it correctly. So that's one of the things that we'll be talking about and discussing and bringing to you as a great, strong option at the Control Your Wealth Seminar on July the 1st here in Dallas, Texas. Very, very important. There's a lot of things that I can't say on air that you need to know. And time is coming, and there's some opportunities that you should be really, really seizing and taking advantage of. So check out that. Also, let me just say this also. If you are looking to get into the cryptocurrencies, which I definitely think you should be owning some of the cryptocurrencies. Don't think that you should be saving in it, though. You should be owning some of it. You could do that by going to ourcryptocurrency.com. Ourcryptocurrency.com. That is a TradeCoin Club. Site and program for acquiring the cryptocurrencies to your benefit. And I will just tell you, been trading some cryptocurrencies and doing very, very, very well, in my understanding. I haven't looked, as today was kind of busy, but I know in a couple of days, just for me trading it myself, I made over, in the 2 days, I think made over $50 that that can be used for whatever you need to use it for. And this is something that everyone should be engaging in. It's an opportunity that is very, very important. And this is one of the things that I talked about with some of our, for some of the people that signed up on that, and everyone, I definitely think you should be doing that for the advantage. And we're going to take a look at some of that, and there is going to be some scrutiny that comes out that's very, very true, but I think that has to be leveraged appropriately. So if you're interested in trading the cryptocurrencies, just go to ourcryptocurrency.com. It's part of the Trade Coin Club platform. Join there, and then we'll send you the information on how to set up your account and everything else that you need to do. You should definitely be a part of that, and we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be actively trading that in the coming future, in next month. And I expect that to do extremely, extremely well next month. You want to be involved in that. So definitely. And if you have any questions, you can text me at wolf6pack1@gmail.com for further information. Or you could just send it to Thando Radio Show on BT, on Black Talk Radio Network. Next article, Rise posted this one, Tree Huggers. This one came from treehuggers.com. Regrowing these 6 fruits from kitchen straps. So true. Man, this is a great article here. From berries, citrus to tomatoes and pineapples. Use leftovers to grow whole new plants over and over again. Very, very important. One of the things that we definitely have to start doing is recycling our food. This is what it is. Food recycling definitely needs to happen. Great article. That is something that needs to be a part of our everyday cycle. This is how you become sovereign. There are multiple ways. There are many ways to move into sovereignty, and this is definitely one that should be a part of it. You got to have to regrow. So very, very important. But preferably you want to regrow heirloom, non-hybrid foods. That's what you want to regrow. So next article, Rise posted this one from Politico. Senate Franken, celebrity figurehead Franken, Kushner may have broken the law with Russian communications. It comes from Politico. Good article there, Rise. Thanks. Next one from ScoopWhoop.com. With child obesity and bad eating habits on the rise, gyms for kids is now a thing. I didn't even know this. But when we was growing up, all of us here that's listening to this Thando Radio Show that's, over 20, over 35 or so, or in that, yeah, we had gyms for kids. We had gym for kids. It was called playing outside. And my man Rod said, see how the system works? What happened to old-fashioned exercise? That's exactly, as soon as I read this article, I didn't see that Rod's comment on it. Exactly. And it is exactly how the system works. Children need to get outside and play. School is about to end. And, one of the things that I notice is a good thing, but it's telling of another danger. When I was growing up, parents in the community had to worry about every summer when school was out, kids getting hit by cars. Thank goodness kids aren't getting hit by cars, but kids need to stop getting hit by cars, but they still need to be outside. There's no kids outside anymore. So check out that article. Good one. Next article, Raj posted this one from the BCC. Scientists find that smoking harms the liver of unborn babies. Check out that article. Next article, Raj posted this one from Futuristic. Newly evolved microbes could eat 90% of the ocean's plastics. Check out that article. But this is why I think with science and technology, it can't be made by the system itself, because it says it will do one thing, but it end up doing everything else. That daggone thing will probably eat other stuff that what their real agenda is, and this is how they hide to do it. But great article, that one there. Check out that one. Next one, Rise posted this one from Kaiser Health News. Cutting biosecurity in Trump's budget leaves the American people vulnerable, experts say. Yep, and that's because that's what it wants. That's what the system wants it to do, and have a plausible deniability and be able to have the appropriate excuse. But when the system collapses, for them to rebuild it under their terms. So check out that article. Next article from Quartz. This WannaCry like Trojan horse uses your computer's resources to mine for money. Check out that article, Rise, great one. Next article from The Wrap. Rise posted this one. Russian journalist killed after reporting on corruption. Next article from Inc.com, Incorporated.com. INC studies found that 71% of the job seekers are not earning more money because they forgot to do this. Check out that article. Very, very important. Next one. This one came from AP News. Owner says that 3 Mile Island plant to shut down in 2019. That comes from the Associated Press. Rise, good article. Really, really good article here from Moneyish that Rise posted. And I like a lot of the articles that they do here. Rise posted this one. Former inmates who struggle to find work tells Moneyish about starting their own businesses. These ex-con entrepreneurs are turning stigma into success. Former inmates find themselves serving life sentences even after they get out of prison. Between 4 and 5 million Americans are on parole, and most of the 2.5 million who are incarcerated will not incarcerated are not serving life sentences. So check out that article. Really good one. Next article from Reuters. Powerful Saudi prince to meet Putin in Russia. Huge, huge, huge. Right after the meeting in the U.S. Boy, every time that the Saudis go to meet the Russians, a couple of Saudis end up dying. So be careful. Be careful. So check out that article. Next article from Rise posted this one from The Guardian. Higher inflation drives down real wages for British workers. Well, I would say not only for British workers, a great article for all workers. Check out that article. Next article from AP News. Rise posted this one. Priest says he and 200 others held hostage in the Philippines. Check out that article. Next article from Politico. Kellyanne Conway calls Kitchener's back channels regular course of business. You're right. Here's the bad thing. This is very, very important because this is starting to unfold the purge, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing, though. Yeah, back channels. That's the excuse you use when something else is going to be revealed or wants to be revealed, and the system is setting that whole thing up that way. But the thing is that you can't establish back channels until you become actually elected. Anything outside of that is probably illegal. Communications may have been taking place there, ladies and gentlemen, but this is the mainstream media, but we need to know what they're doing so that we can see what's happening and prepare appropriately for that. So big, major one. Great article there. Next article, I posted this one from the South China Morning Post. Why is Beijing so angry about the Moody's downgrade? These are the things that you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. The whole thing is starting to come into full fruition for what the overall plan is, and that is to have displacement in multiple forms. There is going to be major events that's going to be happening relatively soon. Next article, really good and very, very important one. I posted this one from the South China Morning Post. How QR codes have forever changed China's social habits. This is, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why you want to be involved in the cryptocurrencies, because this stuff is only going to continue to explode, and you need to, like everything else, you use cash to your advantage. You do use everything that the system has to your advantage, so that, but not allowing yourself to be steeped into its addiction for demise that it sets out for everyone. Great article, very, very important, and this is especially for those in the trade coin club group that we have. This is very, very, very important. I will be posting things daily that are specifically targeted for you guys. This is definitely one to show you how big this thing is going to get. And why do I say that? Because every person with a cell phone, and pretty much in the future, most every person will have some form of digital currency. This is why you want to engage in it now, use it to your advantage, but knowing what it is no different than cash, except it is not a physical form. It's going to be a digital form. So who does that really benefit in the overall directions? We'll talk about that. Yes, I think it was devised by the bankers. I've always said that. But the thing is that, do you engage in it? Yes, you own it for your benefit. There are smart things that you could be doing with that overall momentum that's going to be created, because it's going to be created. Momentum is like a form of energy. You should ride the wave to your benefit instead of having the wave overtake you as a tsunami. So check out that article. Next article, I posted this one from the South China Morning Post. Clock ticks for China to get North Korea to talks table, because of a lot of things that's been going on in the South Sea of China and in North Korea and in the Korean Peninsula. Things are unfolding. So check out that article. Next article, I posted this one from the South China Morning Post. Moon orders probe into secret delivery of THAAD launchers. And Moon is the new celebrity figurehead president of South Korea. And I wouldn't be surprised, this is, even though the system plays out for what it wants to play out, wouldn't be surprised if something happens to where Mr. Moon is no longer going to be in position, or he's in position because that's what the system wants. And I do see a reunification of the Koreans, and that is going to be a powerful, extremely powerful country that will be a part of the allied nations with China. Very, very important. So check out that and the overall ramifications from there and the financial impact of that. Next article from the South China Morning Post posted this one, why Merkel decided she had to speak up about Trump. This is all celebrity figurehead infighting, but is giving you an idea of what's going to be playing out. Germany and France will be moving towards Russia and China and away from the corporation of the United States. The corporation of Germany will be moving towards the corporation of China and Russia. So check out that article. Very, very important. Another important article, I think. And we may have time to jump on this one, or I doubt it, but we'll see. Maybe we will. This is a very one. This is from the National Interest. I posted this one from the National Interest. How America could end up in an unexpected war with China. Very, very, very important. 3 decades ago, the People's Republic of China was in the economic backwater. Today, the PRC, the People's Republic of China, sports the world's second largest economy. No, it's not the second largest economy. It's the world's largest economy. Now, single country economy, and probably even surpassing the EU. But it definitely surpasses the former state of the United States that held that position. That's been long gone in so many different ways. Shanghai most dramatically illustrates the country's transformation. The city is filled with stylish office buildings, 5-star hotels, luxury stores, and foreign visitors. Reflecting on their success, the Chinese are increasingly confident as well. We're going to take a look at that article for sure. Next article, and it goes right along with today's show. Next article from Sputnik News. France hopes to position itself as a bridge between Russia and the EU. And if you notice, this all goes hand in hand with what recently happened in NATO. And, one of the pictures is here sending a message. They're talking about this, the celebrity figurehead president of France with his overall Emmanuel Macron's time with Trump, and he supposedly gave him a real hard handshake and held on to his hand for a long time, then purposely ignored him, and went to Merkel. This was all staging. But see, this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's staging because it's giving indications of what the intentions are for those that are aware. It's telling that there's going to be some major move. And then the picture that it shows with Vladimir Putin is where the French president just puts his hand out and waits for the celebrity figurehead Vladimir Putin of Russia to meet his hand. He's not trying to invoke or he's coming with a more of a open relationship that they have together instead of one that is saying, it's a strained relationship. Very, very body language key here as the part of the message of the coded message that is being transmitted globally for those that watch this type of things as to what's going to be going on. This tells me that this was a signal for those that needed to know within the overall cabals that the switch towards Russia is being played. So the individuals need to play that. Corporations and individuals need to play that to their benefit economically, geopolitically, physically, and their overall spiritual move, because they do make spiritual moves. May not be spiritual as in the benevolent form, but it's still a malevolent spirit as well. That is still a spiritual form. Next article from Sputnik News. Trump has massive trade deficit with Germany. Well, the U.S. has massive trade deficits with pretty much everybody. Vietnam, Germany, Canada, Mexico, China, Russia. All of these countries will be coming together and kicking out, guess who? So check out that. And then just wanted to put another article I put here that you got to right-click to translate, is where Merkel says U.S. and U.K. can no longer be relied upon. And this is a major shift here that's being telegraphed. And it's being telegraphed for a reason. It's saying something else. Ladies and gentlemen, it's saying that there will be trade wars that lead to shooting wars. And you already know what the alliances shall be. It will be the world. Canada will turn on the U.S. Mexico will turn, already not turn, but they will go towards it in a different direction. And this is all being pushed. This is purposely being done. Isolation, the protectivism move is a isolation move for war, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we need to know, and to properly put ourselves in the position for the opportunities that will be coming because of that, and to protect ourselves from the adversities that will be definitely a part of that. So check out that. Next article from RT, Russia International. Russia and Iran signs oil for goods trade agreement. And this was an article from a while back. Or was it the next? Oh, no, this one confirms. And then the next article, this was the one that was from last year. I think it was in April of last year. Iran and Russia working to seal $20 billion oil for goods deal, sources say. And then now it's been done. It's been signed. Why is that critical, ladies and gentlemen? This is a major deal where they are trading. Countries are now trading, major countries are trading major purchases without using the U.S. dollar, which means the U.S. dollar is going to have some very, very hard times in the future. Its overall losing of influence is at a pace that will never regain the former that many of us here have known, that have developed a quality of life and standard of living for people here. And that means that the quality of life and standard of living that many have had here is no longer going to be a part of the future. Very, very important. So check out that article. Next article, this one comes from the Washington Post. Japan warns citizens that they may have only 10 minutes to prepare for a North Korean missile. This was a little older article because of what? China, North Korea over the weekend launched another missile, and this was in a Scud form as a anti-missile, as a part of its anti-aircraft arsenal. And here's what was said. I posted another article from MWCnews.com. Japan to take action with the U.S. after North Korean's missile test. The celebrity figurehead, Prime Minister, we'll get to this in a minute because this is going to be a part of today's show. Next article from Reuters. I posted this one. North Korea fires Scud-class ballistic missile. Japan protesters. Here's what was significant about the protest that Japan said. That they said that them in the U.S., Japan and the U.S. will respond with have a concrete approach against North Korea. Very, very important, or something to that. We'll get to it here. So that was from Reuters. Next one from Sputnik News. We're almost done here. Seoul to bring Pyongyang to dialogue over denuclearization. And so what they're saying here is this is the opportunity for the reunification of the Koreas that is really going to be discussed here, in my opinion. South Korea's new government intends to bring North Korea to dialogue in addition to the tightening restrictions. So this is something that the U.S. can ill afford, and this is why they're sending multiple aircraft carriers. They got 3 over there, another one headed, then a total of 3 will be there because at the appropriate time they plan on using it. So here we go, folks. Next article. This is from Sputnik News. Russia notes unprecedented teamwork with China concerning the Syrian settlement. Very important. Next one. This is from Daily's. Can't see this real quick. Russia expects China to help resolve the Syrian crisis because that overall relationship is going to be moving together much stronger in order to defeat the former superpower known as the U.S. They are going to line. Next article from military.com. Laser weapons edge closer to battlefield use. And I believe, in my opinion, China, U.S., and all these other countries already have that technology to use. Another major important article, in my opinion, from the Telegraph. Norway seeks new powers to police Facebook, meaning more than what we think here. It will actually be policing where they're going to incriminate and prosecute people as well. Not what they say, it's what they do. Very, very important. And last article for today's show from the Sydney Morning Herald. Very, very important article and is a part of today's show. I'm absolutely certain we are in a bubble in this property market. But it's not just there, it's throughout many places. In North America, Canada, the U.S., in Asia, in different parts of Europe, everything. The overall bubble is really growing, and that is going to have an adverse effect everywhere. And this why I named today's show is you already know the game is rigged. Now she is saying impending calamity ahead. And some of the calamities that we have that's going to be pending, we're going to be looking at in the second hour. It's kind of, over the weekend and holiday, there's a lot of news that we need to catch up on. So that's why we had an extended version of What's in the News. And we put What's in the News because it's just some of the things that I run across to put up. And then if you would like to post some things as well, Roz posts a lot of great articles as to what we should be knowing. And so definitely. We need to do that. And so I'm back on the board. If you'd like to jump in on the conversation, give us a call, 866-510-9025, 866-510-9025. Hit star to unmute yourself. I will see you on the board, and we'll definitely bring you up. And so our sister, Strategic Melanin, says, we were in shape, healthy. And she's talking about when we were kids running around and playing and outside instead of being inside all the time. That's what this is. For my generation, is when Atari and all of the other stuff. We spent some time on that stuff, and then that stuff. That's what they always do. They always look to attack the young people first because that's the energy of the future. Exactly what they're doing now. When I was growing up, it just started. So we spent some time playing Atari, doing Donkey Kong and playing video games. We used to play video games like children do now at home. We used to have to go to an arcade or to a store that just had a bunch of arcades. So we spent some time in the arcade and all of that other stuff. But what we used to do, we had it tempered. We only spent maybe one day out the week that we would spend some time there. The rest of the time, we were out playing with our friends and doing all kinds of crazy things. I'm pretty sure for you all where you grew up, it was all different, and you could see a progressive movement in the generation before us. They didn't even do that. They spent all their time outside, or they spent their time working, trying to help maintain the overall quality of life for their families. There was so many different things. So that's the progression, and it's going to only get worse. And now this virtual reality thing is where kids will be moving it even less. They will be in a comatose state with some goggles over their eyes. Now, some people will even surrender to probes and everything else being attached to their brains, and they constantly living in a virtual state, in that state comatose. Man, that's the perfect slave. So these are just some of the things that are going on and where things are going. So up to you to resonate and give energy to that. So that's what's in the news. If you'd like to get in on the conversation, don't hesitate. Give us a call, 866-510-9025, 866-510-9025. So we're going to jump into, when we come back out of the commercial break, jump into it. But it was a couple of things before we go. We had a little time for the commercial break. So what I want to do is I want to play for you this, let me get down to it, this senator out of Brazil that talked about planet, the seventh planet. Some call it the ninth planet. Some call it this planet. Some call it Nibiru. Some call it Planet X. Some call it the Wormwood. Some call it this. Some call it that. It's been recorded throughout history, and not saying all of the recordings were true or whatever, and not saying all of the recordings were lies. But I'm pretty sure that if there were some truths that were talked about it, there were lies that were integrated in it as well. Okay? So it's biblically is there. It's in the Judeo-Christian Bible, known as Wormwood, and I think it's also spoken indirectly by King Solomon that there's nothing new under the sun, meaning most people think that's meaning things that happen here on the earth is nothing new. It's just a repeat, a retread, or cyclical. It goes around. No, it has nothing to do with that. That statement, you really think about it, has nothing to do with us living here on the earth, because one, we're not under the sun. We orbit and rotate around the sun. I think King Solomon knew exactly what he was talking about when he said there's nothing new under the sun. When this planetary celestial body makes its path closer into our solar system, our physical presence of solar system, to where its effects are reachable in a very apparent way here on Earth. That's what there's nothing new under the sun means to me. That's how I interpret it. Because one, we're not under the sun, so it has nothing to do with here. Talking about something that comes from underneath the sun. So wanted to play this real quickly. How much time we got? This is, okay, cool. Oh, I think I went too far. Yep, I did. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play this for you all, and it's only like 2 minutes. Oops. So, no, I'm going to go to the commercial break, and then when we come out of the commercial break, because I don't want it to run into the commercial break, when we come out of the commercial break, I'm going to set it up. We're going to play this. To me, is relevant because this is a senator speaking about some things on the Senate floor. And, most people, some senator here in the States talked about it on the Senate floor, it would be just as equally ignored because people are like, nah, because the fluoride has been so thick, the calcification of so many things, organs, the resonating organs that are necessary for our overall discernment and our overall projection as energy has been calcified, has been attacked by through all forms of chemicals and germs and cancers and everything else. So you're going to take a look at this, what this Brazilian senator said on their Senate floors. And that would be comparable to the in the Senate, on the Senate floor. So we're going to take a look at that. You're listening to Thando Radio Show. When we come back, we'll jump right into that, then jump into today's show. If you'd like to have a question or comment, don't hesitate. Give us a call, 866-510-9025, 866-510-9025. You're listening to Thando Radio Show, brought to you by Black Talk Radio Network. We'll be right back after these quick commercial breaks.
Project launched the digital radio platform Black Talk Radio Network, the first such platform created to serve the black community specifically. Black Talk Radio Network has grown with a variety of radio hosts, digital radio stations, and podcasters. Web analytics say Black Talk Radio, the platform, has an online reach that ranks it among the top independent black media platforms in the world. All of this is possible because of financial contributions to the nonprofit Black Talk Media Project. If you love the work we do and the voices and perspectives we bring to you every day, make a donation today to ensure that Black Talk Radio is here in the future. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium.
Okay, welcome back, everyone, to Thando Radio Show, brought to you by Black Talk Radio Network. I love that new commercial. Scotty, very, very well done, my brother. Congratulations. I love that. I love that. Let's definitely resonate with that and give some of our own. We should be the sponsors for this network, and this is something that we should be doing. I'm going to commit more because it's just so necessary. So very, very important. I love that drop. That was a really, really good, great commercial. So, all right, if you'd like to get in on today's show, give us a call, 866-510-9025, 866-510-9025. Hit star, CUNQ, and we'll bring you up. So what we're going to do now is I want you to hear a Brazilian senator, Mota, announced collision of Planet X with Earth on the Brazilian Senate floor. This is not just someone just haphazardly talking about it on some conspiracy, what some people would say a conspiracy theorist blog. This is the legislative body of the Corporation of Brazil. And this is sometimes, there's so many things that could play out in this, and we'll take a look at some. And I think there's some measure of truth to a lot of it. History has bared out the evidence of that. But also, could there be more to it? in so many different ways, under so many different circumstances. Yes. And so I think we need to first slowly bring this in. We talked about it a couple of times. We have shows on it from time to time. And, if that's something that you would like to have more of, I'll be more than happy. I'm very selective on some things that I talk about. And I will just say this, my overall investigations of the precious metals I've always said that slavery was started because of the precious metals. The only thing that's going to end it is the precious metals. So let's say that for a reason. And this was one of the investigative reasons why I say that. It goes along with this, and it expands how true is it. And I just followed some of the evidence in some of the writings, some of the historical writings, which may not all be true, tainted with complete lies, partial lies, 3/4 of a lie, or, a grain of a lie. Pretty sure that there's a lie in there somewhere. So very, very important. So, but I want to play this, let you hear this. So, and then if you want to have any comments or anything, definitely jump in, and we're going to jump into the rest of the show. And I just think that is very significant because of who this and how this is being used. Once again, this is the information being sent out in different ways. How does it resonate with you is important. Hold on, here we go.
Senator drew the attention of parliamentarians when addressing the report of the American Space Agency. According to Telmario, the NASA report says that the planet changes the gravitational field of the Earth and, with this, 2/3 of humanity will perish. Senator Telmario Mota, PTBRR, drew the attention of parliamentarians during the session on Thursday, 25, announcing in a speech in the Senate plenary the collision of an X7 planet, known as Nibiru, with Earth. I have received the information from an elect who said NASA states that the planet Nibiru is coming towards Earth and the current cycle will be over soon, said the senator. According to Telmario, the NASA report says that the planet changes the gravitational field of the Earth and, with that, 2/3 of humanity will perish. 2/3 will die of hunger and disease. I passed this to my advisors to do a study to see if this planet Nibiru is really approaching Earth, he announced. The video of the senator's speech quickly turned into social networks and was shared by thousands of internet users who criticized the senator's position, saying that the senator should bring more relevant issues to the plenary. Planet X7 in 2016 was published the book Planet X, the 2017 arrival, Planet X, the arrival in 2017. Its author, David Mead, claims to have studied astronomy and claims that a series of stars, propelled by a twin of our sun, approaches the Earth dangerously and will collide with it in October 2017. He states that he has scientific evidence and, to explain the absence of detection of such a star, mentions the oblique angle of his approach and his forthcoming impact on our South Pole. Check out the video below.
Okay, so that was with what the Brazilian senator said. Now, I've been looking at this. If you have a question or comment, like to respond to it, give us a call, 866-510-9025, 866-510-9025, and hit ***. Now, I've been doing research and a lot of, and it was funny how I became aware of this is because of my overall studies in the precious metals led to this so-called, we played it here with Zacharias Sitchin and Dr. Harrington, who actually had found it in the 80s and in the 90s and had showed it to Zacharias Sitchin, and then all of a sudden Dr. Harrington came up with a mystery illness, and he was the director of Naval Observatory, and he found it, and then he shared it publicly with an individual. Then all of a sudden, Dr. Harrington was off the same way Chavez was off, with a mysterious fast-spreading cancer. And so the evidence has always been there, but do we believe that the bearer of the evidence is what's a part of it all? And so what brings a lot of validity to this all is because this is not, I was watching, I'm going to play it probably Thursday. I should have played it today, but I gotta find it, where there was on the History Channel. And I've been talking about this for a while to selective individuals, because you got to be careful who you talk to different things and different people about. Brother Davis, Sister Davis is well aware of this. I've had some conversations with them about this. And some other people that you I speak to. Chico Stick and I definitely have had extensive conversations and sharing of information. My man Chico Stick, got to get him on. Busy dude. So there was a History Channel, or can't remember what channel it was, but I TiVo'd it. I'll play it for you all. And what did they say? Searching for and finding this other planet. They call it Planet 9. Planet X. And Zachariah Sitchin called it Planet X because of the 10th planet. And so they're basically admitting to this planet. They're just a matter of getting all of the details to disclose it. So what this senator is saying is not far-fetched. The information is there, but how true is the information? That depends on how you resonate. Could this celestial body be there and not have the influence that they say it has? Very well, yes. And then they can use it for whatever they want to use it for, because of the new weaponry of this planet. They can alter the weather and through holograms and everything else. You don't think holograms are believable? Just go back to Coachella Fest, and when Dr. Dre and Snoop was on stage and they brought out Pac in a hologram. The people there thought the people there just got totally silent, because they thought Pac was really, really dead, really, really there, and that he had, for whatever reason, faked his death or whatever, but he was dead. And I'm pretty sure the alcohol, the pills, and the weed and everything else that they were assuming kind of helped that overall euphoric feeling. But many were deceived. And I think we played that here on Thando a while back, for the reason of this is what I think will be used in the future to bring about some deceptive. Could you imagine the overall leverage that will give someone to bring someone back to life and say that they're here now? Just think about the ramifications of that. You could have mothers killing their children because of that. You can deceive people so thoroughly because you've seeded it for so many years based in fear and all these other things, that religion could have a field day with that. And then mothers will start sacrificing children, and fathers will be doing this and doing that. The system will be in full control because of a hologram of deception. But this hologram of deception, just imagine if so-called they had a hologram of Jesus returning. How would that turn the tables throughout the world? The people that do believe and the people that don't believe, those that don't believe will be killed by those who do believe, and vice versa. It's a force multiplier. It's definitely a false multiplier. But what if they don't go that? What if they don't use that option? What if they use the option of a planet and just change the environment and have the earth shake because of the weapons, weapon manipulation and using weather as a weapon? and then having the earth shake by disturbing the tectonic plates, by disturbing the atmosphere, from everything in the chemtrails that they're spraying in the air. Now that using it as an ionizing force and as a resonating force for frequencies. And then they add a hologram. I remember that there was a show where they had Planet Nibiru come in, or a planet, huge planet that came in, and it was when, what was the TV series that was on? The Event. And then that's when Blair Underwood was the president, and his wife wasn't from this planet. And then all of a sudden this planet came up, and she told the child that we're going home. Predictive programming. These things are real. Somebody's playing with this. Now it could be very, very true. But see, the leverage of it all is that you let no good crisis go to waste. Could there have been a reason that there's been a mass move to major cities, destroy the global economy, forcing people into different areas? This system is sick. And while they take from your energy builds their stability, your energy builds, they siphon and steal your energy, they leech off of your energy because your energy provides for their way of life, to where they were able to create systems to protect the few and expose the many. Would a system of that such be in place? What does history tell us? History has told us that the system cares not about people, but to exploit them. It uses them as cattle and as human resource. That's the truth of history. That can't be disputed. It can be ignored, though. And many choose to ignore it from a cowardice standpoint because they feel that they can't beat it, so they might as well join it. The most cowardly phrase indoctrination pledge there is. The pledge of a coward is we can't beat them, so let's join them. So could that be it? Could be. I'm going to definitely we're going to take a look at this in a more extensive way a little later on. So if you have any comments that you'd like to make, give us a call, 866-510-9025. So I don't want to spend too much time here because I do want to move on to the other parts of the show. But if there's something that you have a question or comment about it, let's definitely do that. You know me. Doesn't matter what the show says. We're going to go with where the energy goes. So that happened on Thursday. And I don't think that is a coincidence at all, ladies and gentlemen. And some of the things that you see going on in the world will substantiate and validate that. The economic shift, the wealth transfer, the destabilization geopolitically, trade wars. Now there's going to be shooting wars. Why? Because the shooting war is a distractor for other things that are happening that really should be talked about. Because you can't prepare when you're distracted and have a course that's set for you to go to Disneyland when the signs say this way to Disneyland, but it's actually taking you to prison land. Because you didn't pave it. You didn't course it. You were following their signs and their highways of destruction. So many variables. Could see this playing out as to why you have World War. While everybody's focused on that, then all of a sudden the World War starts in, and all of a sudden they come in with a hologram and say, this is the threat to humanity. Now we need to all bind together because we've been at each other's throat for so long. Oh, so many people will buy their stuff, their lives. because of we've been schooled to think that we're supposed to make excuses for the demonic and the malevolent agendas, and that's what we do. It's just like someone that's been abused in any relationship. They start to think that they're the reason for the problems. And this stuff gets deep. So we got a caller in queue. Let's go to this caller. My man Jerry is there. What's up, Jerry?
How you doing, Brother Dave, Brother Scotty, all the Thando?
What's going on, man? Good.
I got a question, man. Since we was just listening to that about Nibiru, and with it being in our cycle, it's coming into alignment. Do you think that could be some of the reasons why these devilish people are not only attacking us the way they are, but they're beginning to attack each other also? Could that be a reason?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jerry, in my opinion, it's so many variables. See, the great thing about it is that we have to decipher this without knowing because our system, we haven't come up with systems that actually develop our talents to where they're not being harvested for someone else's agenda. So if we had developed all of our talents fully for the agenda of ourselves, our families, and our community, then we would know hardcore concrete things. We wouldn't have to go to the system for validation. We would know everything. And what you're saying is that is something that I think is a part of the whole ploy, is that, yes, and I think within the overall system itself, they actually fight each other as well for maintaining more control, getting control over this side, over that side, and they also fight themselves. But they all collectively are in agreement to destroy and to use us completely. So yes, and this is why the cycle, and you'll see it grow into further fractions to where they will start to even fight themselves. And when I say it is not just one set of race, what I want to say, the system, in my opinion, the system uses race to achieve its objective. It's not about race. It uses race for that. It's about those that have chosen to come together to use everyone else for their agenda. And so, yes, and then in that, what do you have? Person A and person B, or Group B and Group C, don't agree to something, but they go along with a certain direction because it benefits them, but they have ideological differences, and that's where they fight each other. And yes, I definitely can see that as a major thing, and this is all a part of it, a part of the grand scheme. It's so important that we start to resonate on our own and be self-sufficient, sovereign, and self-determining for our future. So, yeah, I definitely could see that being a part of it all.
Well,
I think you can. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Dave.
Real quick, I think that you can even see that in smaller sets where you'll have people in the military, or you'll have people in the intelligence agency killing other people from the same intelligence agency, even in the same darn office. Yep, definitely we'll see that because of agendas. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, like, me and Scotty had brought this up a couple months back when Trump first came. What I was saying is that it was going to be they fighting amongst each other because although they all working together, it's dependent on who's going to make the choices. And so just here this week we had two. I can't remember if both of them was Democrats or one of them was a Democrat and one was a Republican, but one of them wanted to call ICE on some of the people because they was disagreeing, they was protesting, and the other politician went to him and was like, "Hey, you can't do this or this, that, and the other," and then they had a physical altercation. I don't think nobody got punched, but afterwards, the Republican told the man that he'll put a bullet in his brain in Texas. I believe it happened in Texas. But this is the same thing. Yeah, this is the same thing that happened with the guy who just got elected, who choke slammed the reporter. Another white on white.
Yeah,
he choke slammed him and punched him a couple of times. So they starting to attack each other quite fiercely, and like I said back then when me and Scotty was talking about this same issue, I was like, we just need to sit back and get our stuff together and make sure that when they start to refocus on us again, we'll be ready. I just wanted to make that point and see what your thoughts was on that. Of course, I had my own, but I just wanted to know what your thoughts was on it.
Yep. So definitely, but but it was actually the opposite. It was the Democrat had threatened to shoot the Republican.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah. It was in Texas. But what's your thoughts on it, Jerry?
Man, I've been going through a little cycle where I'm learning different stuff, and the alignments of the heavens is one of the things that me and a few other people, particularly Brother Roz, we've been going through about this and everything that happens, the power that comes from that, especially when you start getting to be aware of it happening, you start noticing stuff even more. And what me and him come to agreement with, well, let me not say that. What I come to agreement with myself is that if it's giving me so much power and the sun destroys them just as well as it feeds me, then what is all of this extra light coming off of these other planets going to do? And it's starting to show.
Yep. There are so many variables, and the thing about this universe is that it's so vast and it's so powerful. And what I love about it is more sincere than the will of man. And so there are many variables. And so I think we always have to, I think it's been beneficial for me to have an open mind towards everything, and to channel energy that resonates well with me. And that's what I think is that's appropriate for me, and everyone else has, their own decisions, but I definitely agree and share like a lot of the same sentiments that you have on that, because it's real. It's definitely real. We look at ourselves in a singular form when it's a community, that even when we decide to be selfish, that overall selfish decision is still supported by collective prudence. And I think that's critical, once we realize that. So great call, Jerry. Great call. As always, brother. We got another caller in queue real quick, so I want to go to this other caller before we go to the commercial break. We got a caller, I think it's my man Hassan, out of 606. Not quite sure. Just want to make sure. Caller out of 606. You're on with Thando Radio Show. What is your question or comment?
206, man.
That's what I said, right? Oh, I said 606. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, 206. What's up, man? My daggone, I'll be missing stuff sometimes so much, man. What's going on, Hassan? How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. I tapped in late, and I didn't press the button quick enough. I was trying to chime in before somebody else did. I just wanted to get up to speed real quick before I affected the show or the flow of it or anything. I chimed in when you were saying something about the hologram with Pac. So I kind of caught on to what you was talking about, but I didn't catch what the event was or something happened on Thursday or something.
Yeah. There was a Brazilian senator that had talked about that there was a NASA report, and NASA has informed them and him about a planet that is it's a part of our solar system that is coming closer into our solar system. And he basically said in what it was is that there's going to be a collision by this planet. And is known as, he said it's 7X, another name for Nibiru, Wormwood, the 10th planet. Some people call it the 10th planet, Planet X. Right. That's why you see the Planet X. The X actually stands for 10th. And not mysterious planet. So he was just talking about that, and I was just saying how technology has used, like holograms at Coachella Fest when they brought Pac on. Just imagine if they had a hologram with a religious, with Jesus returning, or a planet that they're saying is coming in, and there's a big hologram. Man, mothers would be killing it. Huh? I
said Project Bluebeam.
Right, Project Bluebeam, exactly. Google Project Bluebeam.
Google it.
Right.
Everybody listen.
Right, Google Project Bluebeam. Actually, Google is Project Bluebeam. It's an extension of Project Bluebeam. This is why they're mapping out every place. Google is actually a part of Project Bluebeam is also within the mapping out for when on pilots with today's aircraft, where they have their screen is right on their visor to where they can see a full three-dimensional layout of the terrain. That's Project Bluebeam by way of Google. So. Wow. All a part of this project that Hassan is speaking about. Well said, brother. So, yeah, that's what the reference was. And I was just saying, just imagine if this planet does do some of those things, but it doesn't do it to the extent that they want it, so that they can depopulate the planet by 2/3, and then now have all the perfect slaves to say that we just endured this together. Now we need to rebuild this. Oh man, we so subject to, and it could be true, but the lies and the confusion could come in because they can just bring in a hologram. All these governments come together and these corporations come together, bring in a hologram of a planet while they shake the earth with the overall with weather modification and everything else, and it'll give what? The appearance, because look what happened in Haiti. Haiti, all they know is that they went through an earthquake, but they start to realize that, there was more to this because of what happened after. Right. So that's what the reference was to Hassan.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to get up to speak because I felt like you was hanging out in my alley, so I knew you was.
Yeah, you remember that Coachella Fest when they brought? I know you remember that. You remember the response of the crowd? They went silent. Yep. They was like, "What are we looking at?" And I said, some of that could have been because of the pills, the alcohol, and whatever. But it still didn't matter where. Everybody there was like, "What in the world?" Right? And so. This is how they this is data mining. I remember doing the LA riots when the FBI had said that we are data mining right now. We want certain things to happen a certain way because we're data mining. That's data mining. They are reading the overall emotional response so that the emotional response will trigger decisions. This is why our decisions should never be triggered by emotions. But that's where I was referencing to Hassan.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm up to speed now, man. I can go back in and just listen, man.
My man. Well, since you're here, man, your thoughts. I mean, because you hit Project Bluebeam, and so what's your thoughts on it all?
I mean, I agree with everything you said, basically. And then as far as the reference to Coachella, I knew that was a test run when I seen it. I mean, it was cool. As a fan, it was cool and everything, but I knew exactly what time it was. I said, "Oh yeah, that was a test run."
Right.
Now they're gonna fine tune it. Of course, if they do something like that again on a larger scale, it ain't gonna look exactly like that. Because
boom.
Yeah, exactly.
So yep. And what they do, they don't bring out their best because guess what? Mm-hmm. One of the band members or somebody else on that stage could have been a hologram of a more to wear, because what they'll do is they'll distract you and have something else. There could have been a band member or somebody else on that stage that was actually some of the better forms or the better versions of the hologram, while everybody was focused on the one that they knew was a hologram and not really focusing on the one that was the more sophisticated hologram that was on stage. These people are deviant.
We're going to lose them, man. We're going into conspiracy theory.
My man. No, not Thando Radio Show listeners. But you're absolutely. But you know what I'm saying, Hassan? Because it could have been that whole one of the front rows, one of the security people, another person that was that was where the technology was really testing if they could cloak something else. Very, very fine. Oh, man, we got to get ready to go to the commercial break. Hold on, Hassan. You're listening to Thando Radio Show, brought to you by Black Talk Radio Network. If you'd like to get in on the conversation, give us a call, 866-510-9025. Hit ***. Get ready to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Black Talk Radio Networks. For podcasts and live program scheduling, visit us on the web at blacktalkradionetwork.com.
Okay, welcome back, everyone, to Thando Radio Show, brought to you by Black Talk Radio Network. I'm your host, Dave from LA. If you'd like to get in on the conversation, give us a call, 866-510-9025, 866-510-9025. Got my man Hassan on the line. If you'd like to call in, give us a call, and then we're going to continue to move on. Hassan, so what else? Well, you got anything else that you wanted to express? Your thoughts, comments?
I was right before you went to the break. I was going to jump on top of what you were saying. You were saying one of the band members. I said, man, half of that crowd could have been the A1 version of it, just to see did anybody pay attention to that, or to go even deeper, it could have been the act before them. And
man,
you saw them, but you only reacted. You know what I mean?
Right, or the act after. Right? It's so many things, because you think about it. This is the trickery and the deception that has been played on people throughout history. Doing it, just from World War I, World War II, they used to have decoys of tanks and everything else to deceive. Same thing here. There is a asymmetrical war that we're at, and the thing is that why we get thoroughly conquered all the time is because we don't know that we're in the war.
Mm-hmm.
They do. Because they declared it.
Right.
They declared a war against you. If you don't know your enemy has declared a war with you, you'll go out and you'll hug them every day.
That's what we do. We've been doing that.
What we do. So, man, great point. Right. That was something that was really something that could have really been a part of it all. They could have just raised up where the next act is something else, and this is all data mining, testing to see, because one of the things is that they never know how effective their overall ploys are going to be until it hits the mass people, because everyone resonates different.
Right.
And
just to go even further, just how you brought up the riots. I mean, same scenario. What if the riots over here that they were data mining, or in this particular area, was the real thing, and what if it was all a setup over here in this area just to see that reaction, and then see that it was the same reaction. So it's like, okay, cool, boom, we got the reaction, so we know where to go with that. Putting that together for 30 years later, you know what I mean? So
right there,
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, you say, okay, well, they're wound up this way, so I can use this tool, and that'll, so I'll put that back into and then they know what? Maybe they need to spend more time on something because they didn't get the response out of it that they thought they would have gotten. So what does that tell them? Don't expose it now. Now you need to get your game up. They got to practice too.
That's why they make Black Friday crazier and crazier every year. They almost got it. They almost getting there. They fine-tuning it every year.
Man, well said, Hassan, for sure. So yeah, that was the gist. You got it. Didn't take long. You only need a sentence or two.
Right. Yeah, I got it, man. So
to get the whole book.
Man, right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. What's the next one? All right, man. Yeah,
don't need much. So, all right, brother. Good talking to you.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so let's we're gonna jump in. If you'd like to get in on the conversation, give us a call 866-510. So one of the things I wanted to jump in real quick is one of the articles. How much time we got? Man, time flies. Well, let me just. We're probably going to have to do another part of this one. And, that's what happens. That's all right. There's a couple of things that we need to talk about, and I'm going to set this up, and then we'll come back to it. How America could end up in an unexpected war with China. And this is from the national interest. Very, very important because all of the scenarios are being set forth. So I want to just check this out real quick. Before we get out of here, but if you have any questions or comments that you would like to make, don't hesitate. Give us a call, 866-510-9025, 866-510-9025. So this is a dual part of what I wanted to cover in some of the impending calamities that are here, economically, geopolitically, socially, and religiously. They're all coming to a head. So this article, How America End Up in an Unexpected War with China. The article goes on. 3 decades ago, the People's Republic of China was in economic backwater. Today, the PRC sports the world's second largest economy, when we know it's the largest. We talked about that earlier. Shanghai, most dramatic, illustrates the country's transformation. The country is filled with stylish office buildings, to which they're kicking out foreigners, Americans and others, so that they can replace them with people that resonate the way that they do for the One Belt, One Road, the new Silk Road, and the AIIB, BRICS, and the ASEAN nations coming together. They're kicking out those foreigners, and they're replacing those foreigners with the new economic direction. What foreigners do you think that they're kicking out? The old ones. Because the old ones no longer can have the Shanghai properties. They got to go into the suburbs. Because the Shanghai properties is only to be used for what? The direction and the beacon of the economic future. Major. We posted that one here. That was a major tell. Article goes on. The city's filled with stylish office buildings, 5-star hotels, luxury stores, and foreign visitors, reflecting their success. Move this down. The Chinese are increasingly confident as well. If not yet a great power, the PRC seems destined to eventually share global leadership with the United States. And the people and its people know that. Stop. That was an article that could have been written years ago. It has fast surpassed that actively now. China no longer has to share anything with the United States. Was the United States at the New Silk Road Summit? No. Done deal. Article goes on. While many in the rest of the world were. If the United States had a summit right now, what summits does the United States hold? In order, who's coming here? No one. It's coming to work with, but coming to protect themselves from. Major shift. Goes on, which means for the future of the U.S.-China relationship could be rocky. Ties turned confrontational under the Obama administration, which announced a pivot or rebalance to Asia. Washington official unconventionally claimed that the policies were not directly against Beijing. The Chinese may be many things, but they are not stupid. Candidate Trump sounded like he intended to pursue an even more turbulent course, upgrading relationships with Taiwan, launching a trade war, blockading China's possessions in the South Sea of China and pressuring the People's Republic of China to solve the North Korean problem. But then came a bilateral summit, and the president's one-way love fest with China's President Xi Jinping all of a sudden became sweet and light in Trump land. Why? Because somebody got smacked. And I would tell you, somebody was left with a red face. I'm going to let you figure that out. Who you think? You already know. So goes on. Article goes on. Second national passions are already cool. Second nationalistic passions are not easily cooled. The issue is not just a few officials who didn't know their country's proper place. The real challenge is posed by the population that believes in a much greater China. So far, North Korea has demonstrated discussions between two governments. Even if cooperating efforts fail, any damage to bilateral relationships likely will be contained. At most, applications of secondary sanctions against China's financial institutions would lead to economic turbulence, not military confrontation. Territorial disputes throughout the Asian Pacific region pose a far tougher test. Meaning, and what they were saying in that last one is that China's inability to tie North Korea to get China's inability to stop North Korea is not going to be a breaking point between the U.S. and China. No. Here's what may. Territorial disputes, though, throughout the Asian Pacific region pose a far tougher test. The Philippines' unpredictable president has been chatting with Beijing over the Scarborough Reef. Tokyo has refused even to acknowledge a dispute over the status of the Sukian Islands. But that has not prevented China from using air and naval patrols to challenge Japan's claims. America's primary interest in navigational freedom, which so far the People's Republic of China has not attempted to impede, not as yet. Washington has no territorial claims in the region, but both Manila and Tokyo are treaty allies. Their security guaranteed by America, which means any confrontation between them and China could draw in the U.S. At his confirmation hearing, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson suggested an even more active American role, barring China access to its claimed possession. That would set up a clash at sea, guaranteed a naval arms race, and create a trigger for war. Well, let me just stop there. The overall, recently last week, with the overall naval armada that's moving in under the auspice of North Korea, do you think China is not aware that the U.S. is using North Korea as a proxy excuse to move in further naval armament and military in military hardware to try to perform such a foolish act of a blockade. And they'll say that blockade will be around North Korea, but it will extend into the overall territorial trade waters of the South Sea of China, to where the U.S. will be taxing countries for trying to move through there. And the only ones that will be passed are the ones that paid their taxes. This is how you move into an all-out war. This is why China will defend North Korea. This is why Russia will defend North Korea. This is why this unexpected war will be unexpected for those that have been watching, waiting for the revolution to be televised. So we're getting ready to get out of here. This is more to this article. We're definitely going to get to it and bring it up because there is an impending calamity. And I definitely start to see it economically unfolding this summer. And I definitely start to see where it will move into military confrontation by way of the Korean Peninsula. That doesn't matter who shoots the first shot. Doesn't matter who gets hit. Question is why, and how will it affect you where you are? And believe me, the overall ramifications of it is intended to adversely affect you. You have to change that energy by protecting, preserving, and ensuring that you are prepared. So, get ready to get out of here. And I just want to thank you all. Thanks to my man, Jerry, for calling in, Roz for posting. And thanks to my man, Hassan, for calling in as well. Let me just make sure nobody else is in queue. Oh, man, we got some other people in queue. Yep, Brother Davis. I didn't see you there, Brother Davis. So before we get out of here, I'm glad I checked real quickly. Let's go to Brother Davis. Brother Davis or Sister Davis, if you're there, the floor is yours.
Good evening. It's always good to hear the voice of a friend.
Yes, it is, Brother Davis.
I'm trying to speak in an even tone tonight because I might have to take you into some very uncomfortable area tomorrow night, and that is going to deal with the truth of our surroundings. If you had to judge us by what's going on in the world, would you be compassionate or would you just drop the hammer? See, we fail to realize that one time or another, we all, as you hear ministers say all the time, graveyard travelers. The whole thing about that is no one wants to think about it. Okay, so tomorrow night's show is going to be, the government would never tell you if we were in the process of an LE event. Now, for those of you who don't know, that's an extinction of life event. They're not going to tell you that. So we have to open our eyes to the simplicity of what we lost because of the confusion, and that's simply living. We didn't have to go out here every day and jockey for this thing called $1. We had time for family. We provided food for our own means. See, these are the things that you're going to have to ask yourself if they have value. So I'm looking forward to the tomorrow night show, but just remember, there's a lot of things going on around you that you know are trying to kill you. But in reality, it's because they've changed the nature of how you live. When you go back to the simplicity of it, you did very well on your own. Looking forward to the tomorrow night show. Everybody be blessed, be there, but have pencil and paper in hand. Brother Davis, out.
Man, Brother Davis, I totally forgot today was Tuesday. In the beginning of the show, I called it Monday, and I said, no, today's Tuesday, and I totally forgot that it was, kept thinking it was Monday again. But yes, Wise Wednesday tomorrow, definitely looking forward to that. Brother Davis is so true as always. And give my regards to Sister Davis. Much love, much respect. Thank you so much, Brother Davis. I'm looking forward to that. And that is so true. How will we respond is the key to everything. And like Brother Davis said, we all started in one place, and then we ended up somewhere else by choice. Where are we going now, and how will we resonate and maintain that? So with that being said, much love, much respect. Wise Wednesday tomorrow, and my man, Brother Bragg, is there. Brother Bragg, we got 2 minutes. If you got something you want to drop on us before we get out of here.
I was just going to say, Dad, just pay attention to what you put in your mouth. Pay attention to the food that you eat, because that's the bottom of our problem. And when he says somebody's trying to kill you, pay attention to that food you put in your mouth, because that's what man-killer.
Man, the man-eater. That's so true, brother.
Away this morning. They just called me a few minutes ago, and we were talking about the food. Most people don't protect themselves from this food that we eat, and it's the cause, it's the bane of our existence. We're not eating clean, natural food. We must pay attention to what we eat. Yes.
So true, Brother Braggs. As you know, a living testament as to that from the changing of your diet. So, man, much love, much respect. Brother Bragg, we're going to be getting out of here now. If you would chime us out, and then definitely give me a call in the morning, Brother Bragg.
Alrighty, no doubt. Peace.
Peace.